Are you into middle class or upper class? Why does money still seem tight? Friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about something which is close to everyone's heart: money and social class in America. We'll explore how much income do you need to fall into middle, lower and upper class in America. In fact, let me give you the numbers right away. Lower class earns $30,000 or less a year. Middle class earns anywhere between $30,000 to $153,000, and above that number you are into upper class. But there are many videos and articles that would give you those numbers. I wanted to go beyond these numbers and try and understand what these really mean. See, US is a very large country. The cost of living in, say, San Francisco, California is very different than what you'll find in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So what it means is that you might be earning an income that may place you, say, in middle class based on the income levels that I showed, which are based on national averages. But you might actually be living a life of a lower class, middle class, or even upper class based on where do you actually live in the country. So what I'm going to do in this video is to talk about typical lifestyles of folks who are in these different classes. So wherever you live in and whatever be your income, if your lifestyle matches folks in that particular class, it's likely that today you are experiencing that class. But yeah, watch out. If your income is low and like it's among the lower than national average, but you're living a very high lifestyle, make sure you're doing so without taking a lot of debt. Let's get real, folks. Where you stand financially can affect everything from where you live to what you eat. So buckle up and get ready to see how your own income matches the American dream. The US Social Bureau splits the income level into different quantiles or percentiles, and depending upon which section you fall in, they give them a name of a social class. So those with income in the lower 20th percentile of the entire population would be labeled as lower class. Now from 20th to 40th percentile, we call them lower middle class. Then the next percentile, which is 40th to 60, is labeled as the middle class. This is the real middle class. Then there is 60th to 80th percentile of the population based on income. They are labeled as upper middle class. These people are upwardly mobile. And finally, if you are in the top 20% of the nation based on income, then you are in the upper class. According to Pew Research Center, which analyzes the US Census Bureau data, these translate into income levels, average income levels, based on the size of the household and cost of living. So here's the data that will give you a general idea about a 3-person household. So here, if we are looking at further subdivision of different classes, then the lower class is still those who earn less than 30,000. If you earn more than 30,000 but up to say about 58,000, you are in lower middle class. Just getting out of lower class but still struggling. Those earning between 58,000 to 94,000 are in the middle class of the US. If you earn more than 94,000 right up to 153,000, these people are in upper middle class. And those earning more than that 153,000 mark are in the top 20% of the nation, the upper class. But like we discussed before, income levels only tell part of the story. So 2010, a slightly older report prepared by US Department of Commerce Economics and Statistics Administration for the Middle Class Task Force defines the middle class by their aspiration more than their income. And it defines these aspirations as home ownership, a car, college education for their kids, health and retirement savings, and occasional vacations. I would argue that those aspirations actually are common to everyone except maybe the upper class. So let's look at typical lifestyles of these different classes and compare their lifestyle. How do typical folks in these different classes actually live their lives? Let's start with a lower class life. Imagine Maria, a single mom working as a waitress. She makes about $25,000 a year. Every penny matters. Maria lives in a modest apartment, maybe with a roommate to share costs. Transportation is a real challenge. She drives a used car, a beat-up car, which is not reliable at all. Groceries come from the cheapest budget store. Going out on the night is very rare. Maria's dreams? Maybe a slightly better, stable job with some benefits. An ability to live in a safe neighborhood for her child. So here is a summary of how Maria handles different aspects of her life. Housing, renting a modest apartment with family. She can't save for a down payment and buy her own house. Transportation, an unreliable car needing repairs. I could imagine her driving a Ford or a Kia. For college education for children, she would definitely need financial aid. Her kid will either go to a community college or at the best in-state colleges. Access to healthcare may be very limited. She needs public healthcare like Obamacare. Retirement savings would be non-existent. And as far as vacations are concerned, visiting family once in a while is considered vacation. Let's move to the lower middle class. I will invite you to meet David. He's a construction worker supporting his wife and a young daughter on a $45,000 a year salary. His life is a bit comfortable than Maria's. They might own a small, older house, maybe in the suburbs. David would likely drive a very dependable sedan. In terms of eating out, the family might be going occasionally to a burger joint like McDonald's. David and his wife dream of affording a college education for their daughter, but it's a struggle. So here is the summary of how David's life looked like. Smaller home, possibly financed through a government-backed mortgage. Car is a dependable sedan. Think of a Camry or a Honda Accord. They want to send their kids to college, but it will probably require huge financial sacrifice on the part of parents. For health and retirement, they depend on the employer to provide health insurance, and retirement savings is what little he has saved in a 401k. Again, employer provided. They do limited vacations on national park, or once a year they may go out somewhere. Now let's quickly move on to middle class. This is like beyond 50% of the people in America. Life is starting to get better. So we meet Sarah. She's a marketing manager earning $70,000 a year. She and her husband own a nice townhouse in the suburbs in a good school district. They drive newer, fuel-efficient cars. They go out to eat in family-friendly restaurants. They sit in the restaurants and eat. They are very particular about their retirement and college education for kids. So now again, here is the summary of how Sarah's life looked like. Comfortable single-family home in good school district. They might have a Subaru or a CRV parked in their driveway. They would likely have a 529 plan to save for their college education of their kids. They will have health insurance provided by employer, a good health insurance. They would have 401k, might also have some IRAs to plan for their retirement. These guys go to beaches and Disney worlds for their vacations. Once in a while, they may even do international vacation. Next, we are talking about upper middle class. This is the aspirational lifestyle for the vast middle class of America. Middle class wants to become upper middle class. Here we are meeting John, who has a family income of about $120,000 a year, comfortably in upper middle class. He's a lawyer. They live in spacious home in a prestigious neighborhood. They might be driving Audis and BMWs. They go to trendy restaurants for fine dining. They take international vacations. Some of them, again, they might have to struggle and prioritize, but some of them might be sending their kids to private schools. Folks like John and his wife also invest regularly and dream of a nice cushy retirement. Here's the summary for John. Spacious suburban home, BMW, private schools, premium health insurance, nice 401k, IRA, other investments, vacation to Europe or Asia. Life is good. Finally, we talk about those who are at the top of the pyramid, the upper class. Meet Olivia. She is a successful entrepreneur. She earns more than $200,000 a year. Olivia and her family would typically live in mansion, a gated community, very safe, very clean. They will have multiple luxury cars. They will go to fine dining Michelin restaurants for dining. If they have multiple kids, all kids will attend elite private schools. They also do philanthropy. It's a big part of their lifestyle. Not all rich people are bad. Here is the summary. Mansion, gated community, fleet of luxury cars. Their homes typically will have 3 or more garages. These kids typically will go to private school and then Ivy Leagues. They have the best healthcare available. These folks, when they plan their retirement, they don't count money. They count experiences. They plan how they will spend the money in their retirement. And some may not be Olivia, but others in further upper class may even use private jets to travel. Again, these were snapshots. There is a lot of variation within each class, but here is the key takeaway. Focusing solely on class levels can be misleading. Financial well-being is also about managing your money wisely, not just about how much money you have. Building an emergency fund, living within your means, which simply means spending less than what you earn, and planning for your financial future is essential for everyone regardless of what income level they are in. So aim for overall financial wellness wherever you are. And then it's a natural tendency of all human beings to try to move up the chain. So do aspire and work towards getting to the next economic, social class level based on income and lifestyle. If you'd like to learn more about the tricks and tips and the habits that will help you move your financial life to the next level, keep coming back and watching videos on this channel. And don't miss this one. I see you next time. Bye-bye.